If there is anything we love more than amazing ancient discoveries, it's the epic ones, especially when the story behind them is just as epic. Well, an example might be an artifact found in a site it had no reason to be in, or a discovery that completely changes what we think we know about history. We've got many stories like that in this video, and the discoveries themselves are truly amazing. So, let's get started. Number 15. The ancient amulet of Mehrgarh. When this amulet was first pulled from the ground at Mehrgarh in Pakistan, it didn't look like much. It was small, darkened with age, and easy to overlook. But that tiny object turned out to be a big deal. It's nearly 6,000 years old, and it shows the earliest known use of the lost wax casting method. That's the same metal technique craftsmen still use today. And the maker first shaped it in wax, covered it in clay, heated it until the wax drained away, then poured molten copper into the hollow space. Once it cooled, the clay was broken off to reveal the finished piece. That process isn't simple. It takes planning, heat control, and real skill. This wasn't luck. It was knowledge passed down and practiced. And the most surprising part is that this happened long before the Indus Valley civilization rose to power. That little amulet proves people here were experimenting, learning, and mastering metal far earlier than we once believed. Number 14. Steamboat Pulaski watch. Now, this story is truly epic. On June 14, 1838, the Steamboat Pulaski was cruising off the coast of North Carolina when one of its boilers suddenly exploded. The blast ripped the ship apart, and within minutes, it was gone. And for nearly 180 years, the wreck was hidden on the ocean floor. Then, in 2018, it was finally found by someone. Among the recovered items was something deeply personal, an 18-karat gold watch. Its hands were stopped at 11:05, the exact time the explosion happened. The Pulaski was carrying wealthy passengers and expensive cargo worth $150,000 back then. Millions, or maybe billions in today's money. Divers have since recovered over 100 artifacts, but none hit quite like that watch. It's scratched, water-stained, silent. It was later sold for just over $15,000. But its real value isn't money. It holds the final second of a disaster, a moment frozen forever beneath the Atlantic. And somehow, that still feels heavy. Number 13. Alexander Peden's leather mask. This mask doesn't look ceremonial. It looks creepy. The face is shaped from leather, and the beard and hair made from real human strands, and it may once have included artificial teeth. It was found in 1840 inside a cottage near Cumnock, though it dates back to the 1600s. The mask belonged to Alexander Peden, often called the Prophet of the Covenant. During the 1660s, Scotland was under intense religious persecution ordered by King Charles II. Peden was a wanted man for preaching against the crown's religious policies. To avoid capture, he used this disturbing disguise while traveling between towns. For years, it helped him stay ahead of authorities. He even journeyed to Ireland while remaining in hiding. Before its rediscovery, the mask had reportedly been kept within his family for generations. Against the odds, Peden was never executed. He died of illness, a rare outcome for someone so openly defiant in such a dangerous time. Number 12. The missing beard of the Sphinx. After the Great Pyramid, the Sphinx is Egypt's most famous monument. This 4,500 years old huge figure of a lion with a human head has endured centuries of wind, sand, and speculation. Most people notice the missing nose, but fewer realize that it once had a ceremonial beard. Fragments of that beard were recovered during early 20th century clearing efforts, but the pieces raise more questions than answers. The limestone doesn't match the main body of the Sphinx, suggesting the beard may have been added later, possibly during the 18th dynasty. If that's true, it wasn't part of the original carving at all, but a restoration or political addition. Eventually, that second beard fell away as well, and no further attempt was made to replace it. What the original beard looked like or what material it was made from is still debated, but it likely symbolized royal authority. Without it, we may be seeing only part of what the Sphinx was meant to represent. Number 11. Crocodile skulls. Inside Egyptian tombs. Archaeologists in Egypt are used to unusual burial items, but a discovery in 2023 still caught many off guard. At the Theban necropolis, researchers uncovered 9 crocodile skulls inside the tomb of Kheti, a powerful chancellor who served Pharaoh Mentuhotep II nearly 4,000 years ago. Animal mummies are common in ancient Egyptian burials, like cats, ibises, and crocodiles, but finding loose crocodile skulls placed inside a high-ranking official's tomb is something else entirely. These were young Nile crocodiles, are likely killed specifically for the burial. Their careful placement suggests intention, not coincidence. It's possible Kheti had a strong link to Sobek, the crocodile-headed god associated with power, protection, and the Nile's strength. Sobek's worship was particularly prominent during this period. Still, no nearby tombs have revealed anything similar. That makes this find rare and deeply personal. It adds another layer to an already elaborate burial and offers a glimpse into the complex spiritual world of Egypt's elite. Number 10. Santana Citatea Vesce. Back in June 2018, aerial surveys revealed something no one expected in western Romania. Hidden in Arad County lies the remains of a massive ancient citadel covering nearly half a square mile. From the ground, its scale was impossible to grasp. From above, it was unmistakable. These archaeologists identified the structure as a Bronze Age fortification built around 3,400 years ago. Named Santana Citatea Vesce, which means Old Citadel, it ranks among the largest constructions of its era in Europe. Here, excavations uncovered the foundations of a palace measuring roughly 350 by 140 feet, a staggering size for its time. Based on current estimates, the site exceeds the area of ancient Troy, and that raises some uncozy questions. Why was such a vast stronghold needed here? Who commanded the resources to build it? And why did it vanish from written history entirely? Well, no records mention it. The citadel existed, thrived, and disappeared without explanation, leaving only earthworks and silence behind. Number 9. Algeria's Forgotten Pyramids. In Algeria, there are 13 massive stone tombs known as the Jetters, and they don't get much attention, but they should. These structures rise from square bases into pyramid-like tops, sitting boldly on open highlands where they can be seen from a distance. Most historians place them between the 4th and 7th centuries CE. Many believe they were built for Berber kings, but there are no names or confirmed identities. Inside, experts have found Christian symbols and traces of Latin, possibly even Greek, carved into the stone. And that's where things get messy. The region's history during that period isn't simple, and these tombs don't fit neatly into one story. They weren't hidden graves. They were statements. Built high, built to last. Centuries of weather and neglect have worn them down, but the mystery remains. Were these Christian Berber rulers? Roman-influenced elites? We still don't know. And that's exactly why they matter. Number 8. Alligator Mound. The Alligator Mound in Ohio doesn't look like much at first sight. Stretching across the ground in a low earthen shape, it was constructed between AD 800 and 1200 by the Fort Ancient culture. Unlike many ancient mounds, it wasn't used for burial. Its purpose was ceremonial. Alongside the famous Serpent Mound, It stands as one of only 2 intact effigy mounds remaining in Ohio. Since 1971, it has been protected as a National Historic Place. Archaeologists conducted a detailed investigation in 1999, using radiometric dating from charcoal found at its base to estimate its age at roughly 1,000 years old. Despite its name, researchers believe the mound does not depict an alligator at all. According to archaeologist Brad Lepper, it represents an underwater panther, a powerful figure in Native American mythology. Early European settlers misunderstood descriptions passed down by indigenous people, interpreting the creature as something familiar to them. The name stuck, even if the meaning didn't. Now let's move to number 7. Marble figurine preserved in the ashes of Akrotiri, Santorini, has been yielding discoveries for decades, and archaeologists continue to return because the ground keeps giving more. In late 2018, excavations at the ancient site of Akrotiri uncovered a structure informally called the House of Benches. Inside, buried carefully within a clay vessel, was a marble figurine of a woman dating back roughly 3,600 years. The sculpture reflects the classic proto-Cycladic style, with folded arms and carefully balanced proportions. See, its placement inside the vessel suggests it was deliberately positioned, though its meaning remains uncertain. What makes this piece remarkable is its condition. When the Thera volcano erupted more than 3,500 years ago, the settlement was buried in thick volcanic ash. The destruction was catastrophic, but the ash sealed and preserved what it covered. Because of that, many refer to Akrotiri as the Greek Pompeii. So what's your take? Well, drop your theory below. Number 6. World's oldest wine in Georgia. People have been making wine for a very long time. But just how long? That question became clearer in 2017. Archaeologists working in Georgia, about 30 miles from Tbilisi, found ancient clay jars buried at Neolithic sites. Inside them were traces of wine dating back roughly 8,000 years. Until then, the oldest confirmed evidence came from Iran's Zagros Mountains, around 7,500 years old. The key clue was tartaric acid, a chemical left behind by fermented grapes. It was absorbed into the pottery walls, surviving thousands of years underground. The region's landscape looks a lot like modern wine regions in Italy and France, so the environment makes sense. These jars may mark the very beginning of winemaking as part of settled farming life. Or maybe people had already been doing this for generations before these were sealed and buried. Well, either way, Georgia now sits right at the start of humanity's long story with wine. Number 5. St. Paul fresco. Well, restoration work rarely changes history, but back in June 2011, it did. Deep within the catacombs of San Gennaro in Naples, conservators uncovered a stunning fresco dating back nearly 1,400 years. The artwork depicts St. Paul with a long neck, thinning hair, a short beard, and striking eyes. He wears white robes embroidered with a single letter, believed to reference Jesus. The discovery is significant not just for its age, but for its intimacy. St. Paul was born Jewish and initially persecuted Christians before converting and becoming one of the faith's most influential figures. According to tradition, his transformation followed a vision on the road to Damascus. Ironically, his later life mirrored his early actions. He was eventually arrested, tried, and executed in Rome around the year 65. The fresco offers one of the earliest visual representations of him, preserved underground while empires collapsed above. It survived darkness, moisture, and in time to re-emerge centuries later. It's epic. What do you think about it? Number 4. Ancient toolkit in Alexandria Troas. Some trades never truly disappear. Carpentry and farming are among the oldest professions in human history, and surprisingly, the tools haven't changed all that much. Back in October 2018, archaeologists excavating the ancient city of Alexandria Troas in Çanakkale, Turkey, uncovered a 1,500-year-old toolkit that looked remarkably familiar. The tools had been sealed inside a large earthenware jar sometime in the 5th century, likely hidden for protection. Because of that, many were preserved in excellent condition. With a bit of cleaning, some could almost be used again. Inside the jar were long iron nails, drills, saws, scrapers, grinders, weed cutters, soil tools, and sickles, a complete working set. It would have been expensive and valuable at the time, which makes its abandonment puzzling. Whoever stored it there probably intended to return, but they never did. What remains is not just a collection of tools, but a quiet reminder that the basics of skilled work haven't changed much in 15 centuries. Now let's move to number 3, Assyrian cuneiform tablets in Iran. In 2017, archaeologists working at the ruins of Basetki made a quiet but powerful discovery. Hidden inside a sealed ceramic jar were 93 cuneiform tablets. Someone had carefully placed them inside and sealed the container with clay. That wasn't random. It was intentional. Most of the tablets were never fired in a kiln, which makes them incredibly fragile. Time hasn't been kind. Many are cracked, faded, or difficult to read. But early examination revealed something important, a reference to a temple dedicated to Gula, the Assyrian goddess of healing. That single clue suggests these tablets may have had religious importance. Administrative records? Ritual texts? Much of it is still being studied. Whoever buried them clearly wanted them protected, and for thousands of years, they were. But erosion has taken its toll. Parts of the story may be gone forever. What remains is a hidden archive that almost didn't survive at all. Number 2. The Prague astronomical clock. The Prague astronomical clock, also known as the horloge, was completed in 1410, and no one can say with certainty who built it. A dark legend, however, refuses to fade. According to the story, the clock was created by a master craftsman named Hanus, and the city leaders were amazed by his work, but feared he might build something similar elsewhere, making Prague less unique. So, the tale claims, they had him blinded to ensure he could never repeat it. Whether that story is true or not, the clock itself is extraordinary. It tracks Old Czech and Central European time, maps the movements of the sun, moon, and stars, and displays the zodiac on a rotating astronomical dial. On the hour, small mechanical figures spring to life, drawing crowds even today. While Europe has other astronomical clocks, few rival this one's complexity or presence. More than 6 centuries later, the horloge remains both a technical wonder and a monument wrapped in legend. Number 1. The Syriac Galen palimpsest. In 2015, scientists in California prepared to examine what appeared to be a medieval book of hymns. Instead, and they uncovered something far older. Using X-ray imaging, experts discovered a hidden text beneath the visible writing. The buried work turned out to be a 6th century translation of a medical treatise by Galen, one of the most influential physicians of the ancient world. Galen lived in the 2nd century and rose to prominence after demonstrating his anatomical knowledge in dramatic fashion. Legend claims he secured his position by dissecting an ape and challenging rivals to reconstruct it. None could. His career eventually led him to serve Emperor Commodus. Galen correctly identified the brain as the control center for speech and movement, a breakthrough for his time. Though many of his conclusions were flawed, his influence lasted more than a millennium. The palimpsest survived only because parchment was reused, a hiding knowledge in plain sight until technology finally revealed it. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for hanging with us, and be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you soon.